think it's safe to say that we all have a sweet spot for powerful roadsters. Especially the beautiful ones like the Jaguar F-Type R that we're driving today. Sadly, or not, depending on who you are, Jaguar is moving towards electrification and it's time to say goodbye to the iconic British roadster. To celebrate the brand's last performance vehicle powered by an internal combustion engine and 75 years of designing sports cars, the British manufacturer released the R75 edition as a last goodbye. The limited variant brings a few mechanical upgrades to improve handling, and under the hood sits well-known 575 horsepower 5-liter supercharged V8. Now, before we talk how the F-Type R75 drives, let's jump inside and briefly talk about the interior space. The interior of the F-Type might not be as fresh looking as the exterior, but I cannot complain about it either. The attention to detail is very impressive. A high-quality leather covers most of the interior, real aluminum has its presence across the cabin, and plastic elements are not offensive. From the ergonomics standpoint, you get physical controls for core functions such as climate control or drive modes, but as you can imagine, there aren't many storage compartments. Even the trunk only offers 7.3 cubic feet of space. The seats aren't super comfortable, mainly because of a firm backrest, but they do provide a good support, which you will appreciate when driving aggressively. Speaking of, the interior, while important, isn't the most important in the F-Type, so let's get it on the road and see how it drives. The automotive industry is in the process of one of the biggest transformations in history, and with questionable regulations, there's simply no place for cars like the Jaguar F-Type, so let's enjoy this amazing British roadster while we can. As someone who reviews cars, my job is to tell you how I feel about each vehicle, but there are cases where my words won't do the justice, and all I can say is you have to experience it yourself. The F-Type R75 is one of those cases, and the culprit here is the V8 that powers it. As I mentioned in the beginning, it generates 575 horses and one of the most beautiful soundtracks I've ever heard. You have to believe me, the melody produced by the motor is breathtaking, and with the exhaust open and the top down, you better be prepared to lose hearing. Okay, but how does it drive? The Jag accelerates very quickly and isn't a good kitty. It has that element of rawness in it, and I really like that. It isn't super easy to drive aggressively, and I'm not saying that you have to fight it, but it took me a while to figure it out and trust it. The chassis has been tuned very well, and despite heavy front end, you can have plenty of fun behind the wheel. Responsive steering only helps that, and brakes that are fantastic. They inspire a lot of confidence and allow you to modulate the braking power very precisely. Now, is the F-Type as hardcore when driving like a normal human being? Absolutely not. The car excels in the role of a cruiser/daily, and I enjoyed every single second in it, on a highway and around the town. Even in the quiet mode, the exhaust pleases you with a soft V8 rumble, the suspension soaks up all road imperfections very well, and you can travel comfortably with the top down with speeds up to 60 miles an hour. Overall, I'm very sad to see the F-Type go, and even though it isn't a perfect roadster, I love it for its rawness and that glorious supercharged V8 that I will remember for the rest of my life. With a $150,000 price tag, the Jag isn't cheap, but if you can afford one, get it, enjoy it, and keep it as long as you can. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you later.